Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka Prakash. I'm a senior staff writer at Fundera, and today I'm going to walk you through how to fill out IRS Form SS-4, Application for Employer Identification Number, EIN. Corporations, multi-member LLCs, and any business with employees needs an EIN for tax filing purposes. You can download Form SS-4 on the IRS website, and the good news is that it's pretty short and straightforward to fill out, so let's get to it. The first few questions of the form ask for basic business information. In line 1, you want to put down your official business name. If you're a sole proprietor, you would put in your first name, middle name if you have one, and last name, followed by a trade name or doing business as name in line 2. In this case, I have a fictional business that's an LLC called Delicious Bakery LLC. I'm going to put that down in line 1, and there's no separate trade name, so I leave line 2 blank. In line 3, you can put down the executor of an estate if you're applying for an EIN for an estate, a trustee of a trust, or a care of name if there's a designated person to receive business tax information. In this case, I'm going to leave that blank because the owner of Delicious Bakery LLC does not have a designated tax preparer. But if you do fill out a person's name in line 3, you want to make sure their address is on lines 4A and 4B. In this case, I'm going to put down the primary business address for mailing in line 4A and 4B. You should fill out line 5A and line 5B if you have a physical business address that's different from a mailing address. Just make sure not to enter a P.O. box in line 5A. Line 6 is the county and state where your principal business is located. In this example, it would be New York County in New York State. Line 7A and line 7B is information of the responsible party that's filling out this form. The responsible party must be an individual for almost all non-government entities. For example, the responsible party could be the owner, officer, or partner of a business. For trusts, you would put in the grantor or owner. In line 7B, you would put in the Social Security number or ITIN for certain foreign nationals or non-residents of the responsible party. In this case, I'm going to put in the name of the owner of Delicious Bakery LLC as the responsible party. Her name is Betty Business. I'll put in her Social Security number in line 7B. Lines 8A through 8C are about LLC information. If you have a business that's an LLC or limited liability company, you want to mark it as such and note the number of members and where it was organized. If the LLC is owned solely by you and your spouse in a community property state, and your LLC is taxed as a disregarded entity, you can enter 1 on line 8B. In this example, I'm going to choose yes in line 8A because Delicious Bakery is an LLC. I'm going to enter 1 in line 8B because Delicious Bakery is a single member LLC. And I'm going to choose yes in line 8C since the LLC was organized in New York. In line 9A, you want to specify the type of business entity. This is pretty straightforward. If you have a sole proprietor, you would simply check off that box and type in the owner's Social Security number. Similarly, if you have a partnership, you'd check off that box. And if you have a corporation, you would check off that box and enter the tax form number that you would eventually file. That's Form 1120 for a C Corp or 1120S for an S Corp. Personal service corporations are those where most of the work is done by owner employees who also own at least 10% of the company's stock. Examples include accounting firms, consulting firms, and architecture firms. For LLCs, what you fill out in line A depends on how you're taxed. If you don't take any action, a single member LLC is by default taxed as a disregarded entity, which means you'd report business income on a Schedule C and attach it to your personal tax return. By default, multi-member LLCs are taxed as partnerships. You can elect for your LLC to be taxed as a C Corp or as an S Corp. If you're a single member LLC taxed as a disregarded entity, you would choose Other in line 9A and simply write disregarded entity in the box. If you're a multi-member LLC taxed as a partnership, you would choose partnership. If you're a LLC taxed as a corporation, you would check off the corporation box, write down either single member or multi-member and the tax form number. In this example, let's say Delicious Bakery LLC wants to be taxed as a C corporation. I would check off that box. I would type in single member, since she's the sole owner of the LLC, and the tax form for C Corps, which is Form 1120. Line 9B is where you'd put in the state or country where your corporation is incorporated. I'm going to leave that blank since Delicious Bakery LLC is an LLC. In line 10, you indicate your reason for applying for an EIN number. In most cases, the reason is to start a new business or for banking purposes. For example, if you open a new checking account, you could check off banking purpose and write down open a new business checking account as your specific purpose. If you change your type of organization, for example, go from a sole proprietorship to a corporation, you would check off the changed type of organization box and specify your new business entity type. If you acquire an existing business, you would check off purchased going business. In this case, Delicious Bakery LLC needs an EIN because the business just started. So I'm going to click off that box and type single member LLC as the business type. Line 11 is the date that the business started or was acquired. If you have a corporation or LLC, this is easy to find from state documents that you would have received when you launched your business. In this case, I'm going to put down April 1st of 2019 as the business starting date. Line 12 asks for the closing month of your accounting year. Most businesses follow a calendar year, so you would write down December in this blank. Depending on the type of business, you might have a different fiscal year, and in which case you'd put the closing month of your fiscal year. Line 13 asks for the highest number of employees you expect to have in the next 1 year. This includes employees who are already on your payroll. In this box, you want to enter 0 if you don't have any employees. I'll put in 3 under Other because Betty Business has 1 employee currently and she plans to hire 2 more. I'll put in 0 under the other 2 columns because none of these employees are agricultural or household employees. If you enter 0 under all 3 columns in line 13, you can skip line 14. Line 14 is about employment taxes, which are Social Security, Medicare taxes, and withheld income taxes. If you expect your employment tax liability to be $1,000 or less for the calendar year, you're eligible to file Form 944 annually instead of filing Form 941 quarterly. If you're eligible to file Form 944, you want to check off this box. If you choose to file Form 944 annually and your tax liability increases beyond $1,000 later, you must still keep filing Form 944 until the IRS gives you permission to file Form 941. In line 15, note down the date of your first payroll or put down non-applicable if you don't have any employees. Let's say that Betty Business ran her first payroll on the 15th of April. In line 16, note down the type of business you have. You have some categories that you can already choose from, or if these don't apply to you, you can click Other and specify the type of business. Ideally, you should pick a description that matches up with your NAICS or SIC industry code. In this case, Delicious Bakery LLC is an accommodation and food service business. In line 17, provide a bit of additional business description. In this example, we could say, sells custom and ready-made cakes. Line 18 applies to businesses which already have an EIN and are applying for a new EIN. For example, if you change your organizational structure, you might need a new EIN. In this case, since Delicious Bakery LLC is a brand new business, Betty Business does not have an EIN already, so I'm going to check off no. This section on third-party designee is important if you want to authorize someone like your business lawyer or tax preparer to answer questions about Form SS-4 and or receive the EIN on your business's behalf. At the bottom of the form, don't forget to note down your information and sign and date the form or it won't be valid. I won't be able to sign and date until I print out the form, so I'll leave those blank for now. And that's all. We finished filling out Form SS-4. There is no fee to file this form. It's free. You can either send it by mail or fax. If you mail it in, you can expect to receive your EIN back in about 4 weeks. If you fax it in, you can expect to receive it back in about 4 business days. The IRS also offers an online EIN application form for US-based taxpayers who need an EIN more quickly. This is also free of charge and accessible at irs.gov. You would answer the same questions as the questions on Form SS-4 PDF, but you would just get the EIN instantly and be able to print out your EIN confirmation as soon as you answer the questions. This is often the fastest and best way to get an EIN number for a business. There are also legal services that you can pay a fee to and have them file your SS-4 application for you. For example, LegalZoom has a questionnaire where you would answer the SS-4 questions, and they will submit the form on your behalf and send you your EIN number. That's all there is to filling out IRS Form SS-4. Thanks for watching. For more information, follow us at fundera.com/blog and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.